Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and miscellaneous Tumblr whatevers. As you can see, I've made some pretty significant upgrades in the life of Evil Pikachu, and I didn't think that a few screenshots would really capture the essence of it. So here's a brief video explaining how my life at Eorzean is going. As you can see, whole new gear set, all new armour. You'll note that I'm now blue instead of yellow. There's a very simple reason for that. This chest piece, the main chest armour that I'm wearing, that was a rare drop from a dungeon, and as a result it's classed as special gear, and I'm not allowed to recolour it, which is bloody obnoxious, but there you go. I essentially robbed all this stuff off the Pope. But because the chest piece is blue, I went and bought some midnight blue dye at frankly ridiculous expense and dyed the rest of my gear to match so I can be colour coordinated. Except for my mask, because I like the way that the yellow makes it look like I've got Pikachu style lightning bolt for like an earpiece. I just think it looks cool that way. I've got my new halberd. Again, rare drop. So this stuff is way more powerful than the crap I was wearing before. Way more powerful. You'll also note that I have a pet shark. His name is George. It's called the Major General Minion, but I personally call him George. That's the headcanon I'm going with. He likes to mug for the camera, as you can see. I don't know why it does that. He just charges around. If you leave it alone long enough, it'll do like a flip. It'll just run around in a circle and then do a backflip. It's weird. Again, it's a minion. It serves absolutely no purpose. It's purely cosmetic. If you're curious, by the way, you get this from going ocean fishing. I think it's over 5,000 points. You get an achievement, not a PlayStation achievement, an actual. There you go. He did his little flip. He's showing off for you. You get an achievement. You take that to a guy in Gridania, and you select receive achievement rewards, and you should get him. At least I'm fairly certain that's how it worked. It was a few days ago, so I have some other minions now as well. I got the Morble Seedling. I was really excited about that because it's a rare drop from a dungeon that nobody wants to go into because it's got bloody irritating mechanics to it. And then I found out that some guy had farmed like 50,000 of them just by running that dungeon over and over again. And he was selling them on the market boards for like 20 gil. I could have had this days ago. Here I was thinking I got myself something special. I have a wind-up Sid and a wind-up Alphino. I don't know who would ever want these, but I've got them now. Got the Mammoth Zit numbers 3G for Gridania, because I'm now ridiculously high rank with the Order of the Twin Adder. Got my Serpent Hatchling at last. A little chicken with a hat on. Right, let's summon him. There you go. That cost me 20,000 company seals and it does nothing, but it is adorable. I love the way he runs. He's putting so much effort into it, bless him. Aside from that, because I'm now level 59, I've got some new moves. I've got Fang and Claw and Wheeling Thrust, which means Blood of the Dragon actually does something now, other than just a temporary buff to my jumping abilities. The big change is thanks to an event that's running at the minute where you do older dungeons and you get a bunch of rare tomestones which you can exchange with a Moogle. Normally you can get... Obviously you can get mounts and stuff like that in the game, but some of them are absurdly difficult to get. Like Ixion, for example, is usually a matter of farming a really rare fate which only occurs every few hours or something like that, and everyone just bundles onto it, and then you've got like a 1.4% chance of it dropping the item you need, and you need like 50 of them to get the mount. Typical MMO logic. Or you can just do this thing and... there's Ixion, speak of the devil. Everyone's going to have Ixion at the moment. It's bloody obnoxious. I, on the other hand, chose this. The Demonic Lana. My demon pigeon. And yes, I can fly now. basically, it's quite a lot of ball ache to be able to unlock the ability to fly in each area, but it essentially works as a no encounters cheat. Because you can't attack me if I'm 4,000 feet up in the air. So you can just fly over the enemies like, whatever, bitch, I'm out. It makes things so much easier. So yeah, that's how my life in Eorzea is going right now. There's a lot of things that I've done, a lot of things I've changed. I've started experimenting with other jobs as well, which has caused its own problems, which I'll have to demonstrate briefly. Bear with me. And yes, I know my gear needs maintaining. That's what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done with this. Switch over to Arcanist real quick, which you'll note has craptastic gear. Put some real fucking shoes on, that'd help. Now, the thing about Arcanist is that it essentially evolves into... It's the only job in the game that eventually becomes two separate jobs. Because you can become both a scholar and a summoner, branching off from Arcanist, but not only is it annoyingly complicated, it also comes with its own issue for me because of this little button here. You see, I have a 6-year-old child. To me, that's Carbuncle. That's, it's a mainstay for the series. Carbuncle's always been. I think it's from Final Fantasy III you can trace that back to. I could be wrong on that one. But, of course, to a 6-year-old child, and indeed my girlfriend Weiss, that's an Eevee that glows in the dark, and it comes in multiple colours. I've got the blue one, but eventually you get a yellow one. You can even get a red one. And of course there's about £15,000 worth of merch available for this thing. You can get it as a scarf and a hat and as a cuddly toy, and it's just like you find yourself, you know, going through your eBay watch list to find that DVD box set you had your eye on, and suddenly all this Carbuncle gear has mysteriously appeared in your watch list and everyone's looking at you going, you know, take the hint, you know, you love me. Like, yeah, I do, but I also love having a bank balance that doesn't read as don't ask, you don't want to know, just trust me on this one, just leave it, mate. So, thankfully, Weiss is an adult with a full-time job, which is more than you can say for me most of the time, and I was able to convince her that if she wants the Carbuncle, she can buy her own bloody Carbuncle. I'm not a rich man. Does it look like I can afford a Carbuncle right now? I've been leveling up other jobs. There's a gladiator here, my first tank role. I'm not very good at tanking. As you can see, I'm not taking this very seriously because most of these jobs are still at their starting level, or they're like level 10. Got Black Mage as well, or Thaumaturge, as they call it in this game. I must have sold some gear I wasn't supposed to sell, because all my gear sets are incomplete at the minute. I really should look into that. Well, it could be worse, I suppose. There's my samurai gear. That's just the standard samurai gear. But I'm a Dragoon through and through. No, I love Dragoon. It's so simple to play. Like, up until you get like Chaos Thrust and Blood of the Dragon, you don't even have to worry about your position. Certain attacks do more damage, like from the sides or from the back. But as a Dragoon, you don't need to give a shit about any of that. It's just poke, 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 and then you get to level 50. It's like, you can stop poking things now. You actually have to start thinking. So basically, up until you reach Heavensward, it is the simplest job in the game by a long way. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I got a couple of other mounts, by the way. This is my mana cutter. You get this as part of the story. You will get this by default if you own Heavensward, if you just progress far enough. But yeah, it's a plane. I have my own plane now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I have one more which I bought off the market boards for a laugh. a Darmal or something. It's basically a dinosaur camel. The thing is that mounts were upgraded quite a while ago, so to my knowledge, all of them can fly. That includes my dinosaur camel. I have a flying dinosaur camel. My life took a very weird turn when I bought this. But there you go. That's the kind of weirdness. I got the Magitech armor. I've got 2 different kinds of chocobo now. I've got the Araman mount as well, which looks ridiculously dopey. He's like, duh. It just looks so thick. I don't know, man. I don't get the appeal of this. And this thing cost me like 6 achievement certificates. I don't know. I'm progressing far enough. I mean, I've got the sun and the moon as minions now. That's got to count for something, but nothing will ever beat George. But there you go. That's my Dragoon life. I'm going to go and progress, because as you can see, I'm level 59. At level 60, first of all, that's the end of the Heavenswood content, level 60, so I'll be able to move on to Stormblood. Also, I get my final job quest for this particular expansion, which unlocks new moves, new gear. Basically, I get a lot of stuff. So, oh, yeah, I can eat bread now. You have to purchase that as an emote. I don't know why. But there you go. That's the life of an Eorzean Dragoon. I'm going to go and harass the locals and demand some money and progress the story and do what I do. So, feel free to join me on Eorzea sometime. I mean, the trial's free up until level 35, so you've got no reason not to at least check it out. It costs you... You don't need PlayStation Plus in order to play. You don't need to set up the subscription until, you know, the free trial's over or anything like that. So, give it a whirl. You never know, you might like it. So, I say, if you want to hang out, I'm on the Zodiac server, as you can see in the top right. If you do decide to keep playing after your free trial, give me a shout, because there's a code that you can type into the store. It won't get you a discount or anything, I'm afraid, but it gets us both some free stuff. And to my knowledge, it's the only way to get some of that stuff, so I would certainly appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to go conquer the universe. See you later.